Hello, welcome to Miniature Realms. My name's Stuart. Osprey Games have very kindly sent me the Armies of Germany book for Bolt Action version 3 to have a look at a little bit ahead of release. Now, I'm very much a casual bolt action fan. I enjoy playing the game as a very laid back, ahistorical World War II recreation, shall we say. I really love the painting and modelling side for it. I love World War II history as well. And for me, bolt action is just quite a light way of dipping my toes into a period of history I love, but then not taking it too seriously on the tabletop. Be that from a historical point of view or even from a tournament-based point of view. So when I look at this book, I'm not going to be breaking down into an army list and talking about what's powerful and what will make the next tournament list, because I haven't got a clue. I just don't play the game in that way. And there's lots of other reviews already on YouTube that will look at the book in that kind of way and compare it with previous editions in terms of the way the list works. I'm going to give it a much more of a quick overview for the more casual bolt action player or people that are thinking of getting into the game with version 3 and wondering whether this book is the right thing to do if they're looking to start an army based around the German forces. So let's have a look at the book, and I'm not going to go through every single page, but I just want to give you an idea of what you get inside. The first thing we'll notice, it's a full colour book and it's 228 pages long if you include the advertisement pages at the back. So it's quite chunky, and if I compare it to Armies of Great Britain from 2nd edition, it's definitely a bit thicker. I don't have an Armies of Germany at that point, so that was 88 pages, so a significant increase in size. Credits at the back are always a team effort from Warlord Games publications, and you'll see a host of names from Warlord Games present and Games Workshop games past as well. And the artwork, as always, is awesome stuff from Peter Dennis. So let's delve into the start of the book, and as I've mentioned already, it is beautiful full colour. You've got a full contents that's very well broken down, so you should be able to find things from the front of the book rather than just from the back, as there is no index. And then we have an introduction, tells you about what the book does and what a German force is, but then we get on to the nice a little bit of brief history as well. So if you are new to World War II or just want a nice refresher, this gives you a really simple overview of the stages of the war and how the German army would be faring and those different campaign stages. The next section focuses much more on the armies themselves and talking about the differences between the regular army, the Waffen-SS and the Fallschirmjäger as well. So lots of beautiful pictures, lots of text to read and get stuck into the history. Now, unsurprisingly, the vast majority of the book is taken up by the army list, and that starts early, so from page 21. And we have packed full of descriptions and stats and rules for all the different troop types and armoured cars and jeeps and tanks and artillery and all the things that you can think of from the German armies during the Second World War, interspersed with pictures of Warlord Games' painted miniatures from their ranges, and also more Peter Dennis artwork, and also battle scenes as well, depicting games of bolt action or what they may look like, all the things that get us wargamers salivating and thinking about games and campaigns and wanting to get miniatures on the table and roll some dice. And as a casual bolt action player, I really like how the Armour Selection has changed and how it's made it a little bit easier to get more of the things you like on the table. That means more tanks in some cases, rather than tanks maybe not being the best thing to play with in the past. And I love painting tanks, so any way I can get more tanks on the table without it being a horrible thing to play against, then that's all good by me. And the official Warlord Games app with its army building facility is a really easy way to do that now as well. I really enjoy using apps on my phone. I know it's not for everyone, and you can build your list just from these books as you've always been able to, but the rules do get released to those apps as well, and I think the yearly subscribers are able to look at all the rules for this now. In the main rule book for the Get You By army list, or the standard army list that were in that, there were sample armies that gave us an idea of what armies look like in version 3, and that continues in this book as well. And I really like the way they're laid out, especially for newer players or players that play less often. You've got an idea of what a blitzkrieg force might look like here and what it might look like on the table, so you get an idea of what size, the amount of miniatures you may need to collect for a 1250 point force in this example. I know a lot of people are playing 1,000 points and things as well. It does look very cool. It's definitely inspiring, and look at all of these VWs. It's really, really cool, and definitely gets me thinking about painting some of those beetles. But I really like this. I like the example style of thing. And now, if you're a really experienced player, that might not be something that gets your juices flowing. But for someone who dabbles in the game, and when I write a list, needs a little bit of help sometimes, just making sure that there's a nice balance of historical, but also something that is playable and not horrible to play against, then I really like these example lists to give me a bit of an idea that I'm making the right choices and going in the right direction. And then this brings me on to the last part about army selection, and something that really, really impressed me, just tickled me, something I really, really like. And that is 4 selection guides based around the war period. So we have early war, mid-war and late war. We know other game systems out there for World War II will quite often place their troops and unit types within those periods. And this is just a guideline, and it says it here as well. It's not something you have to follow, but if you want to have a more historical based game, and rather than just select some random units that go together that maybe would never have been fielded together because they didn't exist at the same time period or weren't used in the same way, then this is a great guide for that. And I guess as well, tournament organizers could also use this and say, I'm going to run a tournament, but it's just early war, so you have to pick your troops from early war. And I really, really like this. It's such a simple thing. It might not have been simple to go through and decide which falls into which category, but it's such a simple idea that brings some really good theme, and you can have themed events as well as just theme at home. And it lists all of the units that we've seen in the army list, but puts them into their early war, mid-war, late war sections. And I just love this. I think this is really simple. I'm assuming we'll see this for all of the other armies books to come, and this is probably my favorite part of the whole book. Something so simple, but just really fun and thematic, and that's just the way I like to wargame. I'd love to know what you think about that in the comments below. And that's it really, and with that section ending, that is the end of the book, and that is the end of the overview really. This is very much an overview review rather than a detailed in-depth, this is how it balances versus previous editions, and that's just not something I'm in a place to do. I don't play the game enough to do that, nor does that kind of competitive balance really interest me. But what I wanted to do is give you a look inside the cover, give you an idea, if you're a casual player, of what to expect from the book and the way you might use it. And for me, that's perfect, and hopefully you found that useful as well. I'm pretty sure that most people who watch this channel for bolt action watch it for painting videos and the odd little bit of casual chatter around it, rather than the in-depth kind of list chatter that you might find from a more competitive nature. Thank you very much, Osprey, for sending me this ahead of time, and also the digital copy they sent me as well, which I was able to look at beforehand and get an idea and give you this little overview video. And also thank you to Warlord Games, who are always sending me things for bolt action and able to make videos to share with you guys, and I will definitely be doing that soon. If you want to check out the links I'll be showing you above here now, you'll look at a recent tutorial for painting German veterans, and also the new introductory starter set that I did for bolt action as well. And I'm looking forward to Armies of the United States, and then later in the year Armies of Great Britain as well. And I've got plans for my own force, probably for both of those really. I do have a plan for the British Army as well, so there will be lots more bolt action on the channel in the future. If you're interested in bolt action and you'd like to support the channel, a really great way to do that is use the affiliate link below for Warlord Games, where you can buy all your bolt action goodies. You'll also be able to buy this book directly from Osprey Games as well, and many other third-party retailers. I do have other affiliate links in that link below, and also a link to my Patreon, which is a really great way of supporting the channel. But if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out all the other videos on the channel. A whole plethora of games are covered, mostly hobby related, so painting tutorials, that kind of thing, but also a bit of stuff like this, reviews and discussion as well. But thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.